Hello everyone. This is a very, very big video for me. If you remember my 365 travels last year, guys, I had insanely good luck over the year and a half that I recorded those reviews. Whether it was the weather, ride closures, my own physical health, everything that could have gone right pretty much went right, except I hit one little snag. About 10, I think if you watch the end of the Skyliner at Lakemont Park review, I explain what happened. I'll explain it again now. About 10 miles from the park that is behind me right now, Waldameer in Erie, Pennsylvania, I hit a deer with my rental car. And the damage was significant enough where I was gonna go to Cedar Point, I was gonna go to Indiana Beach on that trip. I had to turn right back around, drive 8 hours back to Connecticut. I was so close to missing this park. This was the one park that I want to hit for my 365 reviews that I missed out on. But guys, redemption, baby. I have made it back here to Waldameer. Pretty much the only significant park in the East Coast time zone that I have really yet to hit. Definitely a roller coaster, and that would be Ravine Flyer 2. I am very, very excited to check out Waldameer. I heard it's a classic, small, charming Pennsylvania East Coast park. It's free admission, very similar to Knoebels. You pay per ride. I decided to get the all-day wristband. It's only 38 bucks, not too bad. Absolutely perfect day today. The high is like 72, not a cloud in the sky. It's sunny, and it's a Friday, so the crowds hopefully shouldn't be too bad either. Made it to Waldameer, guys. Let's get on some Ravine Flyer 2, a few of the other roller coasters here, and see what Waldameer has to offer. Oh, this is amazing. If hitting the deer was Aaron Boone's home run into the 2003 ALCS, this right here is the Red Sox winning the World Series in 2004. I made it, guys. I made it. Woo! First up, let's take a ride on their 1951 family wooden coaster called Comet. Yes, the third wooden Comet that I have ridden. Of course, Comet at Hershey Park, Comet at Great Escape. 1951, this is somehow the most recent Comet of the three. It's a cute little ride. These are very, very rare. You rarely get a classic, kiddie/family wooden coaster. It was a good time. Really, really good time. Highly recommend. Definitely don't skip it. Buzz bar restraints, so you get a little pops of airtime. Very similar, if I could compare it to anything. Meteor, Little America. I think this one's a little bigger, a little smoother too. Comet's fun. Definitely not a skip here at Waldameer. We'll say too, Comet is a really, really nice shaded area of the park. Like the whole ride is in the shade. Really cool. Nice little, turnarounds, nice little bunny hops. Just a good, enjoyable overall time for the entire family. Nothing wrong with that. Comet's will win for me. All right, credit number 2, coaster number 2. Now that I am no longer an SBF Visa virgin after the Santa's Village experience, we're gonna take a ride on Whirlwind. This is not the extended layout that Pookie's Penguins, whatever it's called at Santa's Village was. This is just your standard SBF Visa. So this is technically my first time riding one of these. Almost 500 credits, first time riding the standard SBF Visa model. Pretty good. Let's see how Whirlwind is. I mentioned Comet wasn't a skip. You can skip this thing. The standard SBF Visa model. The one at Santa's Village is way better. It's spinning, not a lot of forces, and it's very tame. Classic, just get the credit and get the hell out. That's Whirlwind. Let's take a ride on the Wacky Shack. Is that a credit? I just saw a drop there. Interesting. It's their dark ride. It looks very cheesy and old school, which means it might be potentially great. Actually, I love me a good dark ride, especially an old school one. So let's hop on, see what it's about. That was some Wacky Shack. That's actually really, really fun. So freaking cheesy, so old school. It's when your cart just slams into the door nonstop. There's a lot of actually really cool effects in there. And for its age, you can tell it is an ancient ride. It's a great, honestly, I would compare it to the Haunted Mansion at Knoebels. That one's a lot there's a lot more jump scares at the Haunted Mansion at Knoebels, but it's a fun little goofy, scary time. I would absolutely make sure you ride the Wacky Shack when you come here to Waldameer. It's fun. Let's now go for a ride on their Mauer spinning coaster. Opened in 2004, called Steel Dragon, not to be confused with Steel Dragon 2000 at Nagashima Spa Land in Japan. Oh man, wouldn't that be an awesome coaster to cover on the channel one day, 1 month? One day. But let's now ride the Mauer spinner first. Steel Dragon. I actually really like these. These are one of my favorite spinners. Laugh Track at Hershey's a lot of fun. Whirlwind at Seabreeze also a lot of fun. Some good drops. The spinning isn't like too crazy, and it's a different ride every time, which is kind of cool. That's some Steel Dragon. I'd love to get on the other Steel Dragon. That would be great. You know what I realized about Whirlwind? That I've been on another Whirlwind at Seabreeze in Rochester, New York. That is not too far from here. I don't know, 2 hours. But that ride is the same exact model as this guy, Steel Dragon, Mauer spinner. And there's only like, I don't know, 7 of these in the world. So it's like the same name of a ride that's the same as Steel Dragon. That's in like the same area. Let's do a food price check. Your meals are going for around, 11, 12 bucks, 13 bucks for chicken nuggets, not bad. But look, you can get sandwiches only, nuggets only for just about 5 bucks. Not awful, and the beverages, not awful as well. I love these small parks. They're not corporate, they're not chain. That usually means the food prices will be a lot more reasonable. I've been trying to think what park I should compare Waldameer to, and I'm having a hard time doing that, which is honestly a good thing. It definitely has its own vibe and charm. If anything, probably Knoebels. A little bit of that feel, because it has just classic amusement park rides everywhere. Ferris wheel, scrambler, tilt-a-whirl, kiddie coasters, big coasters, stuff for the kids, the train. It's good to see. This is a really, really fantastic park. I would absolutely come back here again. Oh, what's that I see climbing a lift hill? Is that low-key one of the best wooden coasters in the country? I think so. Let's ride some Ravine Flyer too, guys. It is finally time, people. I'm finally gonna get to ride Ravine Flyer 2, their 2008 Gravity Group wooden coaster. It's Ravine Flyer 2 because there used to be a Ravine Flyer 1 way back from 1922 to 1938. They shut it down because a man died on it. Unfortunate. But it's the same exact site. I shouldn't laugh, but it's been what? Over 85 years. I can't do the math right now. But anyway, Ravine Flyer 2 is here now since 2008. A lot of people call this a baby Voyage because it's also a Gravity Group, just like the Voyage. They opened around the same time. The stats aren't as high and as impressive as Voyage. Only 2,900 feet of track, 80 feet in height, 118-foot drop though, and speeds of 57 miles per hour. But I heard the intensity, like a Voyage, is there. So that is really exciting for me. Like I said in the intro of the vlog, this is like the only real major roller coaster on the East Coast that I have yet to ride. So I have high expectations for this. A lot of people rave about Ravine Flyer, and it got a recent retrack in the last few years, so that's always good. Gravity Group retracking, usually always a job well done by then. So there it is, guys. 9 potential? Maybe, we'll see. And I also heard the view at the top of Lake Erie is like picturesque, so let's hop on, guys. I'm always a big fan of when the coasters put the stats in the station. 2008 Gravity Group, all their drops, 60 miles per hour. Golden Ticket Award, 2008, I love that.
Flyer 2.
Hard to tell. but you might be able to tell there's both the US and the Canadian flag on the lift hill. That's because when you're on that lift hill, you can technically see Canada, because we are right on the US-Canadian border, at least on Lake Erie. So cool little touch there from Ravine Flyer 2. A little behind the scenes action here. I'm clearly not inside the park anymore, but sometimes you gotta make a little bit of a walk to get the good shots, baby. Also, if you didn't know, very similar to Voyage, this is technically a hybrid coaster. Those are steel supports. You can also see some of the newer gravity group track on that drop right there. Impressive looking structure, not gonna lie. Can't see from here because of the trees, but when you're at the top of this hill, you are looking directly at Lake Erie. It is absolutely gorgeous. One of the best views of any coaster in the country. If you didn't know, this is a pretty significant highway-ish road. That might look to you like an overpass. That's actually Ravine Flyer 2. It goes over the highway twice. How cool is that? There's the first drop. That takes some walking to get where I am, but you know what? It's kind of worth it because this is really cool. All right, everyone. We got through all the fluff. Now time for the review you've all been waiting for. My thoughts on Ravine Flyer 2. Is that one of the best wooden coasters in the US, like I've heard all these years? Yup. Yes, it is. That is a wonderful, fantastic, phenomenal wooden coaster from the Gravity Group. Woo! First off, two of my famous phrases. You know me in launches, the other one, you know me in views. Oh my God, that is gorgeous up there. And you don't just get it one time, you actually get two shots of that gorgeous Lake Erie. Honestly, I think that is the best view of Lake Erie from any roller coaster in the world. I'll put that to the test very soon. But oh my God, where do I begin with this thing? Where do I begin? After the view, you got the drop. It's a terrain coaster, so 80-foot height, but 118-foot drop. It's really, really good in the back. I'll tell you, I've been on it 5 times so far, just to let you know. A little rough in that valley. It's the only kind of rough part of the ride. It's overall very smooth, very smooth. Man, the floater hill after that valley, the first time you climb back up, awesome, awesome, especially in the front. I do think overall this is a front row ride. It is so good in the front, good in the back, but it is better than the front. I think so. You get that second shot of Lake Erie, which honestly I think is even better than the lift hill. And then another great floater hill. The second half, so on the underwhelming side. There is kind of dead moments of Ravine Flyer 2, but there's still some really good tunnels. There is a cool ejector hill towards the end, which I really liked. But overall, it's really smooth. I won't say really smooth. It's smooth. For a wooden coaster, it's really smooth, I think. It's so good. Here we go, score time. Let's go. It's awesome. 8.90. It's awesome. That's a great score, obviously. Why am I going under 9? Like I said, if it didn't have those kind of dead points in the middle towards the second half, I'd probably give it into the 9s. But for a wooden coaster, I think towards the end of the year, I'm going to do top 25 wooden coasters. That's probably pushing the top 10 for wooden coasters. And kind of a take here. The state of Pennsylvania, more than any other state, is known for their wooden coasters. In fact, if Pennsylvania was its own country, it'd be 3rd in the world for a number of wooden roller coasters. And I think Ravine Flyer 2 is the best wooden coaster in the state. Yes, over Phoenix and Twister at Knoebels, over Lightning Racer and Comet at Hershey, over Oscar's Wacky Taxi, Thunderbolt, Jackrabbit, Racer at Kennywood. There's a bunch. That's the best in the state and one of the best in the US. Ravine Flyer 2, come to Waldameer. You will not regret it, especially for Ravine Flyer 2. How did I become a drop tower fan? I don't know, I always do them now, and knowing the view of Ravine Flyer 2 of Lake Erie, I know this is gonna have some fantastic views. Woo, okay, so first off, it doesn't look like the tallest thing in the world. It is still pretty tall. Most of the drop towers that I've done are S&S. You get the over the shoulder, you get a seatbelt, you're pretty well protected. That thing, you just get a really skinny over the shoulder, a small belt to connect it. That's it. You are so exposed on that thing. The views, like I thought they would be, are phenomenal of Lake Erie. But they give you no warning of when you reach the top, because as soon as you hit the top, boom, straight down. Very, very scary for me. Honestly, it's one of the more terrifying drop towers that I've done. They still get me nervous. But I'll always do them now. No, don't confuse it with the mini golf course. This is Pirates Cove. It is a weird, kind of haunted walkthrough, kind of a fun house kind of thing. Very, if I compare it to something, it's like the haunted house walkthrough at Indiana Beach, but that one was a lot better. This one was fun. Very tight alleyways. Some cool little effects, animatronics. That's worth doing if there's no wait. Waldameer has a bunch of these statues all around the park of like little kids playing. I'm sure there's some significance to it. This is a very old park, but a cool little feature that you don't see in any other parks. But these are like all over the place. This is the queue for the train here at Waldameer. Why don't all queues just have benches? That is so cool. This is the first time I've ever seen something like this, and I dig it. 366. One left. Come on, guys. Did you know there was a Ravine Flyer 1 back in the day? Ravine Flyer 2 is the wooden coaster. This is Ravine Flyer 3. It's an E&F Myler kiddie coaster. I'm here with some people, so yeah, I'm gonna get the credit. Okay, not Ravine Flyer 3 being completely over water. What? That is so cool. I love that. And it's an E&F Myler, which low-key can slap sometimes, so I'm weirdly excited for Ravine Flyer 3. So ends my time here at Waldameer, at least for the vlog. I might stick around and get some night rides on Ravine Flyer 2, because the park closes at 9. That's a point I actually want to make. It's a weekday at the end of August. A lot of parks aren't open during the week as we get towards, school returning, but they're open from 12 to 9. A 9-hour operation day. That's really, really good, Waldameer. Every ride was open. I did not see one closed ride. And the park was decently busy. The operations were great. I am very, very impressed, Waldameer. This is one of the best, smaller, family-owned, I think it's family-owned, charming parks that I've been to. And definitely in a state in a region with a lot of them, this is right up there with some of the best. And obviously Ravine Flyer 2 being the highlight, one of the best wooden coasters in the country. So that is it from Waldameer. Got redemption. Don't have to worry about that deer anymore. And who knows what's next. I'm going to a pretty significant park that's kind of near here called Cedar Point. I don't know if I'm going to vlog yet. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. I'm there 2 days. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this vlog. Catch you next time. Doing what? I don't know. In the studio, at a park. Who knows? You're just going to have to tune in. All right, nighttime check, and you knew I'd be back. You knew there was still video left. You knew I'd hop back in. Nighttime on Ravine Flyer. Kind of night. 9 o'clock still. The sun sets a little later out west. But it was still really, really good. It definitely cooks later in the day. And I didn't mention the Baby Voyage comparison. And yeah, that's accurate. So it's a gravity group, but it kind of runs like a CCI. And I said it's smooth. It actually, it does have some bite to it. That was a little bit of an exaggeration. But anyway, Ravine Flyer 2, man, what a coaster. What a coaster. Oh, can't recommend it enough. Now, I will see you next time.